Mr. Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Yeah.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the country will see the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman
we
president?
already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She does this.
All right, I got my hood light on now. Spotlight. I guess I forgot my gloves down there too. They're probably in the, they're in the pallet shed for the chicken coop. Yeah, I gotta level out this gravel too. I just had him dump it or spread it, but I got potholes I need to fill. It's just one big mound right now. I've been driving on it when I need to be leveling it out. But, oh well. I'll get to it eventually. Candy. As soon as I figure out what I'm doing with either this property or the property in Keplinger, I'm going to invest in a backhoe, and then I can level that out with that. I'm going to get basically... I don't want a farm tractor with a backhoe attachment. I want the smallest backhoe with the front loader. Available that'll do heavy duty work, you know, not light duty stuff. And then I'm going to basically rebuild my pond. And start working on the berms, other berms down here and whatnot. So, and then maybe I'll get my own dump truck and then go over to the other property, load it up, and then bring it over here bring clay and rock over here to help with the berm and stuff, because that other property is almost worthless. The chick's still over there digging for gold. Yeah, he thinks there's gold over there. So he calls it a psychic berry treasure hunt, which is crazy. We found 100-year-old well there. Hand dug, handmade well. And he swore there was gold in the walls of the well, so he had a backhoe come in and dig it out. 100-year-old hand dug, hand put together well. He destroyed it. He'll never find any gold. He's already destroyed everything of value on that land. The nice part about it for me, though, is I only paid $2,000. No, 10 grand. No, 5 grand. I bought in for 5 grand. And I invested another 7,000 into his project and other things. But so for $12,000, basically, I got 2 acres, but it's a percentage of 20 acres. So I own 10% of 20 acres. Basically, it doesn't say what 10% I actually own. So I have basically free reign over the whole 20 acres, just like he does. I could do whatever I want, whenever I want, just like he can. So I go over there and collect passion fruit, other wild edibles. I just use it as a food forest. And I got plenty of clay and rock over there if I need it too. So it's really nice. Anywhere that I need clay and rock over here, I can just go over there and get it. Right now I have to rely on people who have their own dump truck and backhoe to do it. But I can't get them to show up for me. They just don't want to show up. So I'm going to have to do it myself. Oh, my gloves. That's what I came out here for. There they are. Can't rely on anybody to do it. You know, I even offered to pay these people because, you know, they're contractors. You have to pay them. But I mean, you know, it's not like Judas where he's supposed to be working for his stay, you know, earning his keep here. And like, what's her face? Sophie, she's supposed to be earning her stay because she's not paying rent either. And they don't do the work that is expected of them or that they volunteered to do. But these guys are contractors. And I'm like, hey, I'll go to hire them to come do a job, and they don't even show up. They're like, no call, no show. So it's insane. The weird thing is, though, they show up and work for Detrick, but they won't show up and work for me. I don't understand it. I got more money than he does. He's just a worthless scam artist. You know, he scams people out of money so that he can do his psychic buried treasure hunt. Here, I got a regular job, a regular wage. I earn an honest living, and I'm offering to pay them to do something for me, and they don't even want to show up. But they'll show up for Detrick, the scam artist. It's so fucking weird. This world's backwards, fucked up. But anyways, I'm at the cat house. So I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna get some stuff out of here so I can clean it up. And when I go to town and get some other stuff that I need, maybe I can go ahead and grab the boards that I need. I should have grabbed my tape measure too, but I'll do that tomorrow. I'll clean today and I'll do that tomorrow because this cat house is a disaster. Yeah, it's always going to be a disaster, but I just need to clean it up enough in this back section to put down new flooring. Once I get the new floor down, then I could buy the cat feeder and put it in here. The raccoons tore up this wall because we had a cage right here. We had a cage right here, and they basically put their paws through the cage trying to get out and tore up the wall. Now, probably, I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably redo all the walls too. Who knows? It's just a $200 camper that I bought for the cats. David Ray, Judas, wanted it to make his mobile home. He was going to live in it, which I thought he would never do because, well, there's a bunch of reasons. But anyways, he needed to clean it up and fix it up, and he never did. But it was a doghouse before, and David Ray is kind of like a germaphobe. You wouldn't know it by looking at him and how he lives, but he claims to be a germaphobe, and so he wouldn't do it. He wanted it for his house, so I didn't see him doing it, and so I was like, all right, you know, I saw it as a chicken coop, and so I was like, all right, I'll buy it. So I paid $200 for it. This is where the roof was leaking. Looks like maybe it still is. It's a little moist. I Gocko roofed it. Might have to do that again next year. But anyhow, so it's a $200 camper with a $500 roof. But it's been a great cat house for the cats. I'm planning on building them another house like the chicken coop. And then put cages in there for newcomer cats and stuff. Have it all set up for newcomers. Where I don't have to let them out for 2-3 weeks and they can get acclimated to the land and the other cats because the other cats will be around. They'll get used to them. And then by the time I release them, then they'll be acclimated and they won't go anywhere. They won't leave. That's the problem I've had. I bring new cats to the land. I can only keep them locked up for a couple days and then I got to let them out. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they don't. Maybe the neighbors adopt them. Maybe they get eaten. I don't know. But like I said, some of them, like Tails and the tiger cat and the little black cat, they're new to the land. They stuck around. Candy, well, Callie was a baby. Her mother did not stick around. I think she would have, but I think she ended up getting eaten. And Callie's the only survivor from her litter. Candy, she and some other cats came here together. They stuck around. For a while, anyways. And Candy's been a really good mother. So, like, I don't know who nursed Callie, but one of the cats nursed Callie after her mother died or disappeared. And, yeah. So we got 3 good moms. We got Mimi, which I haven't seen her today. We got Mimi, Fluffy, and Candy. And they're all good moms. Callie's not a bad mom either, actually. But I don't know that she will take care of other cats' babies, where the other 3 definitely do. Anyhow, I'm going to get to work. All right.
1 hour later.
All right. I got a lot done. Basically, I can go get 2 sheets of plywood tomorrow and put it down. Because of this, in this corner, and there's another piece over here, I had to scrap. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to put it down underneath so this back level will be a tad higher than the front level, which is fine. And I've got some extra board that's probably that thick I can put down underneath the second layer just to level it out, because this is where I want the cat feeder, the automatic cat feeder to be. And yeah, but I have to go measure the width between the legs on the one in the chicken coop. If it's more than 4 foot, then I'm gonna have to make them level, or maybe cut a hole in the higher one so that the one of the legs can sit in, and that'll help stabilize it. It can't be too tall anyways, because I'm almost 6 foot and there's only about a foot clearance to the ceiling, so the ceiling's 8 feet. And I'm not sure how tall the one in the chicken coop is. I'll have to go measure it or go stand next to it, see how tall it is. But it'll probably be pretty dang tall. But the way this thing works is it's got a spinner in it and a timer, and then a little contraption around it that drops it down into a little section. Well, I'm going to take that half of that bottom section off, and I'm going to put the bottom of a barrel or a lick tub underneath, so that all the food goes down into that, and then the cats can eat out of that. And the timer will go off like 4 times a day. So they'll get fed 4 times a day automatically. So if I don't do it that way, I can always, put like a ring around the outside of the legs to where when it does spin, it hits those and then falls down. But I don't want it to be on the floor where they're probably going to poop again and get all nasty. So, yeah. And I'll probably foamcrete these walls too. Like I said, it's just a $200 shed. I mean, mobile home. But it's leaking and it's going to fall apart if I don't have some kind of reinforcement. So wherever it's leaking on the walls, I might just go ahead and frame it out with some 2x4s and fill it in with foamcrete too next year. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But just give it some extra reinforcement. Most everything's pretty solid still. The roof seems fine in most places. It's a little moist right here. And I put Gucko roof on it. But for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's an antique camper. But anyhow, so yeah, I ended up getting this back door open, and I pretty much swept everything out the back door. So I got room in here to work on the first 8 feet. I'll probably go ahead and clean the floor, clean the whole cat house before I go and put the wood down. That way it's clean, or clean-ish. And then, at least this bottom half, and then I'll work on the top half later. But yeah, it's fairly clean. I mean, this half of it's fairly clean. I still got to do the other half. So I'll do that tomorrow because it's getting dusty in here and I'm getting choked up. So yeah, basically this is about the 8-foot mark here. It actually, I measured it by stepping it off, and actually is a little bit longer. So, but these are 4x8 sheets, but this back half is, tucked under or something. So it's not quite 4 foot. It's like 3 foot. And so then you got 4 foot here, and then it's going to hang over another foot, which is fine because then it overlaps these cracks. And this new floor is solid. These boards are heavy. So I'm not sure what the width is. I'm not going to lay it down. I'll have to get my tape measure and measure it. But that should be about 8 foot. And then, that should be about 8 foot all the way across. I'm going to measure it tomorrow. If it is this first piece, I won't even have to cut it. I just pop it in here. Bam, done. Second piece, I'll have to cut notches out for the wheel well and this counter. But other than that, it should fit perfectly. So I'll measure that, cut that out, and get that knocked out. And then that's $100 right there, because it's like $50 a sheet. But this is some good heavy duty stuff. So I'm thinking after that, I'll have another piece here. It gets more narrow and more narrow. So once I get past this piece, I could potentially start using scraps for the rest of it, potentially. So I might only need 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 pieces. So that'll be like $200, $250 to refloor this. And it'll be good and solid. So it'll be a $1,500 camper. No, $1,000 camper when I'm done with it. And then, like I said, foam, because I paid $200 for it, probably paid $500 for the Gocko roof. And now I'm gonna pay another $250 for the floor. That's $500-ish. And then redo the walls. That may cost me another $500. To reinforce the walls. But that's it. I might frame this all out too, and put all treated lumber in here with the framed out walls, and build, cat houses on this back, or not cat houses, but like little cat boxes on the back wall with window. The window access would be their door, but the coons have been coming in and out that window. I don't really want this to be a door. I want it to just be a breather. Yeah, no. I might put dog fence over these windows to keep the coons from coming in and out through the windows. This opens all the way too. So if I got, dog fence up, they won't be able to get in and out through here. They have to come in the way the cats come in. Then if I come in that front door and they're in here, they're trapped. They can't get out. I can kill them before they escape. One way in, one way out. So, like I said, I still got a little bit of work to do before I can refloor it, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. This was mostly tools and stuff that was in here. Don't forget my gloves again. Oh, I need to get my jacket too. So I'll just take them somewhere else, maybe to the boat storage. This was sawdust. And yeah, I'll probably just take all that crap to boat storage and be done with it. And then the stuff up front is all kitchen stuff. So I'll pull it out and clean it up, and then I'll put it in the box truck. So tomorrow I'll be working on the box truck. I need to silicone the box truck so I can start moving kitchen stuff in there. And that's basically just going to be kitchen stuff, because this area is supposed to have been the kitchen area. The camper we had, it was David Ray's camper, but it was the kitchen camper. It had a working stove top, not oven, but stove top, and a decent sink. So we used it for the kitchen. And then, of course, I crashed in it when I needed to. When I wasn't driving truck over the road. David had his camper, but then we built the greenhouse. David loves greenhouses, so he pretty much lived in the greenhouse. When he moved over to Bill and Shirley's, he lived in the kitchen camper for a little while, but now he's back in Bill and Shirley's greenhouse, which is where he wanted to be in the first place. He conned his way over there in 2017 and lived in their greenhouse for almost 2 years. Oh, 2 years. Yeah, almost 2 years. It took him 2 years to get rid of him. So we built a greenhouse over here, and he pretty much moved into it. Okay, yeah, it's about 6 foot tall. So it gives me just enough room to open the lid and put the food in there. And so, yeah, it's got a casing around it to where the food doesn't spin and go all over the place. It'll spin and drop down into a box. And then it's got these deals where the deer can eat out of the little tubes. Well, I'm going to make sure the tubes drop down into, say, a lick tub or whatever, and a big trough, if you will, for the cats to eat out of. And that's going to be the automatic cat feeder. This one's been working this week. So, as long as I get the right kind of cat food where it's not too big, it won't plug up this feeder. But if the food is too big, it plugs up the feeder. So it's been working. The only problem is it spins the food and sprays it everywhere. Oh, I thought the skunk was back. It sprays the food everywhere. And so the cats don't get it all. The skunk or the coons or whatever comes and eats the rest. Or mice, which is, I don't mind the mice coming and trying to eat it, because then the cats will eat the mice and then boom, they got more food. But the skunk and the coons and the possums, yeah, the cats don't like to mess with them too much. And I can't say that I don't blame them or whatever. So, yeah. So now that I got the cat house, or I'm cleaning the cat house, I'll get online and order that feeder. It'll be here in a week. Then I can move the cats out of the chicken coop and into the cat house again. And then I can start getting the chicken coop ready for chickens again. Because I really don't want the cats in there. But, you know, it's the only decent automatic feeder I have. I have another one up at the greenhouse for Libby. It's a smaller one. But she's the only one up there, so it doesn't matter. You know, I got the big one back here for the bulk of the cats, because, you know, they eat more. And then I got the small one up front for Libby, because she's prejudiced against other cats. She don't like her own kind. But, oh well. Anyways, so yeah, I got the small feeder up there for her, and I got the big feeder back here for the cats. The rest of the cats. And occasionally one of the other cats will manage to go up front, and Libby will tolerate or barely tolerate them. But Libby pretty much runs the front. Mimi pretty much runs the middle. And Swirl pretty much runs the back. I didn't see Swirl today either. Swirl pretty much stays in the goat yard. Mimi pretty much, she does whatever she wants. She's the boss. But Mimi pretty much runs the middle. And Libby pretty much runs the front. Mimi tolerates the other cats. Actually gets along with them mostly. Swirl and Libby, they don't like the other cats, so they got their own little territories. They're loners. They're like, fuck off. This is my house. Like I said, Swirl's the goat cat. She stays back with with the goats. Libby's the greenhouse cat. She stays up at the greenhouse. And Mimi's the queen bee. She stays with the rest of them. So it's almost 8 o'clock now. I'm going to wind down. Maybe run over to Kaplinger and get that trailer. Sophie and the kids should have already loaded it with stuff that I need to bring over here and unload. So I'll go over and get that tonight. Because the guy's going to be here tomorrow to get that tank. And I'm going to need to deliver it. So, yeah. So I need to get my trailer over here and get it unloaded. Hopefully Sophie and the kids got it loaded with all the crap. Or whatever crap was over there at Kaplinger. You know, while I was gone. And yeah, so they're doing a little bit. Just, I don't know, she don't even take care of her own rabbits properly. So she lost half of her rabbits already. And if it weren't, you know, I don't know. It's like I had to come home and clean up that shed over there at Kaplinger because she wouldn't do it, nor were the kids, so that her rabbits can have a safe haven. You know, it's like I needed them to clean it up for me so I can come in and put down the boards. I had to do everything. So, but you know, that's how things seem to work around here. Oh well. Anyways, I'm hungry too. I'm gonna run into town and get something to eat, and then go to Kaplinger. All right, bye.
The next day.
I came down to feed the cats and the goats. Mimi's already got her breakfast. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Kitty, 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 kitty. Meow, 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 meow. The other cats are trying to take her breakfast away from her. Mimi's pretty tough. Oh, she already ate it. Or she left the rest of it behind. She got what she wanted. Mimi's pretty tough. But she's a slow eater, and others try to take her food away from her because she doesn't eat fast. Still stinks in here, but I'm working on it. Can't hardly see anything because it's dark. But I got the half of the bottom half cleanish, so I can put down the boards. And I bought 3 boards. So that should cover over half of the floor, and then I'll assess how much more board I need. Probably just one more. Just like last time, I was 1 board shy of what I needed, but we'll see. We'll see how much scrap I have left and how much I need. So don't want to overbuy those boards. They're expensive. However, I'm going to need more. I already know, because I'm going to have to redo the floor in the overseas storage container that David Ray was using and destroyed. That's going to cost, well, $50 a board. Actually, almost $60 after theft or tax. But like $60 a board, that container is going to take about 10 boards. So that's going to be like $600 to fix the floor in that container. Can you see Mimi? She's black. Alright, I'm going to feed the cats, feed the goats, and get ready to go to town. I got to go to town, take care of my taxes with my accountant, and go find a toilet for the Kaplinger property, and get a couple other little necessities. But other than that, and I'm going to try to get back here. It's raining right now, so I'm going to try, and then after that, I'm going to try to get back here and get some work done before I go back to work tomorrow. Alright, I turned the light on so you can see what I did. So this is what it used to look like. Pretty bad. Between the cats and the coons, they made a mess of the place. The chickens would come in and help clean up a little bit, but it's still pretty nasty in here. That's after I clean. And I'll show you the box truck next. Once I get done with this, it'll look like that. And then the chicken coop will be back to being a chicken coop again once I get this cat house finished. Only reason why I moved the cats to the chicken coop is because I didn't have any more chickens. And I had the automatic chicken feeder over there. And so I just put the cat food in the chicken feeder so I can feed the cats while I'm away, because I didn't have anybody here to rely on to feed the cats. That being said, even when Judas was here, he barely fed the cats. They were always underfed. Not always. Almost always. Especially the last few months. They were all skinny, even Libby. You know, very, very skinny. In fact, other people were concerned because he was basically starving them to punish me for supporting him and taking care of him. Yeah, it's like, nah. Basically what it boils down to is I was giving him hand-ups all these years, and he was taking them for handouts and then punishing me whenever I took those hand-ups that he was taking for handouts away. Oh, the roof is leaking. So I'm gonna have to re-Gocko it. I had a feeling it might be leaking again. It is. So I'm gonna have to get up there and fix that too. But this new floor is pretty much invincible to the weather, you know. So I gotta finish siliconing it. I need to go buy 3 or 4 more beads or tubes of caulk. And I did clear in the middle because I only had one clear tube, and I put the excess over here in this crack. And then white pretty much everywhere else. But I'm gonna cover the white up with a baseboard. My brother gave me some plastic wood that was scraps from another project. I'm gonna see if there's enough to make a baseboard in here with the plastic wood. And if there is, then that's what the baseboard is gonna be. And that should keep most of the rodents out. The only other problem is the doors. There's some cracks in the doorways that the rodents can get in. So I'll have to figure out how to seal them. I mean, I'm not really keeping anything in here sensitive. It's going to be the overflow for the kitchen, but not really like kitchen food. It'll be more like kitchen supplies, like jars, glasses, cups, silverware, things like that. Things will probably wash again anyways before using. But like this lever here for this door is broke, so this door doesn't actually latch. So if they wanted to, they could squeeze up in there. And I don't really use this door, so I could, you know, silicone it shut too so they can't get in. But occasionally I might want to use that door. I don't know. We'll see. But I can always maybe try to find a new latch for the door. And weld it on, maybe. I need to relearn how to weld. I hadn't welded in like 20 years. And that box truck hasn't been fired up in over a year either. I gotta drain the fuel out, put fresh fuel in there, and replace and recharge the battery. What I would like to do is put some solar panels on top of the box truck just to keep the battery maintained and maybe run some lights in there. And then, yeah, but it needs to be fired up every now and then, keep it lubricated. And nobody else would do it, and then I ended up slacking off too, and then it wouldn't start. And yeah, there's only so much one person can do. But I had like 6 people here at one time, and nobody wanted to do anything. So it's like I had to do the work of 6 people. Skunk's probably been in here again. Or the possum. So this is the chicken feeder. This week I'm gonna order the new feeder for the cats. So it'll be here in a week or so. I'm gonna probably order it to the Kaplinger property. If I can't get it ordered to the post office, which I can't, I'm sure. It's probably gonna be a UPS item. Or I might order it to Kansas City to my family and have them bring it down next time they come down. But Sophie's over at Kaplinger. She's not half bad. She's just not, oh, I gotta feed the goats. She's just not living up to her own expectations, let alone mine. She's just not doing what she said she would do. But who knows? We'll see. The rabbit thing, not the rabbit thing, the chicken thing. Turns out she was 50% already invested in it with John Akers, which is fine. You know, I don't got a problem with that. But I wasn't made aware of that. And so that's why she said what she said. But she wasn't specific enough. See, she has Mercury in Leo. And Mercury in fire. See, my brother's got Mercury in fire too. A lot of times, they'll just cut to the chase. And they won't explain themselves. Because maybe they feel like they don't need to. But maybe they do need to, you know? So they don't explain themselves. And then what they say could be misinterpreted. And then people might take what they say the wrong way. And I have that problem, sorta, also. I have Mercury in Virgo, but it's on a Leo cusp. So I could be short, brash, and to the point myself, but I may not always be on point. But if you notice, most of the time I'm pretty detailed, and I tend to TMI, you know, offer too much information. And that's the Virgo. But Mercury in fire won't do that, or won't do it as much. Maybe won't do it enough. And so she was just like, when I said I need 10% and da-da-da-da-da, you know, gave my detail, she's like, never mind, I'll find someplace else. So my assumption was, and I can tend to be a little negative, but my assumption was that, oh, I'm not good enough for 10%. You know, that's the way it looked to me. I'm sure it's the way it looked to everybody else too. But the way it appeared to me was, oh, you're not good enough for 10%. You don't deserve 10%, you know, whatever. So when I called her on it, she basically told me that she was already doing 50-50 with John. And then, what's her face? The people that are running the organization that she's going to be doing the eggs for is going to be taking about 15%. So she gives me 10%. Then, you know, she's only got, you know, I don't know what percentage left, because I think, oh, pivot. I think the 15% comes out of the top, and then they split their profit 50-50. But I would want my 10% off of the top also, I guess, after the 15%. So my 10% would actually be more like 8%. But anyhow, she said she didn't really have a problem with it. John was the one who had a problem with it. And so, but again, I didn't know that John owned or was going to own half of the birds. Well, if John's going to own half the birds, then maybe John should have the house for the birds. Because, you know, it's like, I'm not going to give them housing for free. You know, if you want to use my house for your birds, you're going to have to pay me rent for your housing for your birds. So, yeah. I'm worried that little Miss Ramsey here will ram me. She's doing good. She's doing good. All right. I gotta clean your plates first. You got poop on it. Oi, oi, No poop on the plates. No poopy plates. No poopy plates. No poopy plates. All right, I'll put the first scoop in here. Get them distracted. They like the grain. They love the grain. You like the grain? You like to move it, move it. Anyhow, so I don't know how honest she was about the situation. He's a weather and he's still trying to hump him. It's funny. He's trying to hump the girls and he ain't got nothing to hump with. Yeah. He's a humpless humper. All right. You want some of this? You want some of this? But I don't take her for being a liar per se. What? Let me get the second batch ready. Hang on, you guys. Oh, hang on, Beatles. All right, here we go. Yeah. Come on with it. Come here, man. Get you over here out of the way. Fight over that. All right, got him distracted with that, so I can do this one. And while they're messing with that, I can come over here and pour the rest in here. Gotta be smarter than the goat. So I got the cattle panels I need to do the other ring, along with the boards, not baseboards, but the floor for the cat house. So in another 2 weeks, I'll be rotating the goats back to that yard, and sometime between now and then, I'll put the cattle panel ring around it. And basically, what I figured out was, I don't know how I was doing my math, but it was all screwed up. That's making the ring too big. The the width, and maybe I should grab my tape measure and measure this one for horses and cows, but the hay bales are approximately 13 feet in circumference. No, diameter. No, circumference. And and so the squares, I think, are 4x4s, you know, in the cattle panels. And so the cattle panels are 16 feet long, and I was coming up with some weird calculation. I don't know what the heck I was doing. But basically, I just need to wrap the cattle panel to itself where it's 16 feet. But because it's not going to be very strong, what I wanted to do is put two together. Well, I put two together for a smaller ring, but it was too small, and I overlapped them by one ring. So, I mean, 2 rings, which takes up 4, 8, 12, 16 inches, which basically takes a little over a foot off of each side. Well, we'll say 3 feet total. So 16 minus 3, 6, 5, 4, 3 will be 13 feet. So that's basically the exact width or circumference of the cattle panel. And you want it to be a little bit bigger because, did I say cattle panel? The hay bale. And you want it to be a little bit bigger so you can actually get it around the hay bale, because not all hay bales are the same size exactly, you know. So basically what I figured was, if I put if I just cross them over one link, it should be 4, 8. 8 and 8 is 16. It's a little over a foot total, and they're 16-foot cattle panels. They would end up being 14.5 feet in circumference, which would be just perfect. But again, it still might be a little too tight. They're belly aching because they want more grain. So what I decided to do is just take 2 cattle panels, because they're more durable that way. Not that, you know, cattle panels are weak to begin with. They're pretty tough. But if I take 2 of them and overlap them 50-50, make them 16 feet total, then it's more than enough, but it's not too much. So 13, 14, 15, 16, it only gives me, you know, 13, 14, yeah, it gives me 3 feet of circumference and leeway that I can work with. And that's probably perfect. So that's basically what I'm doing for my cattle panel rings, or my hay bale rings. I don't think I have a calculator down here. I mean, not a calculator, tape measure. But I'll walk over here real quick and show you the other one. You've probably seen them before. I picked this up real cheap. I don't know how much I paid for it, but I got it from a guy in Fair Play, and I still never used it. I just don't know what I'm going to use it for. That being said, I could use it in the chicken yard and put chicken wire around it. use it for chickens, babies, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I need to figure out what the circumference is on this thing, because it looks pretty dang big, to be honest. Here's all the crap I cleaned out of the cat house. Ugh, most of it's crap. Some of it can be reused, but I'll come out here and deal with that later. Here's all the landscaping bricks I had up in Kansas City. I forgot I had these cinder blocks. I need to use them. But anyways, yeah, I had these up in Kansas City. Probably had them up in Kansas City too. Can't remember. But I had these in Kansas City for my garden in my backyard in Kansas City. Oh, there's one of my hoses. David Ray just threw it back here. It's probably ruined now. Don't know. I'll have to look at it. So this is the ring. So whatever the circumference is for this is ideal, because it's what basically people use for cows and horses. So, and yeah, I got another water hose. Cool. David stole some of my water hoses, but he didn't. I guess he forgot about this one. All right, party on.